Good afternoon. Why is it so important not only develop distant education but also work intensively on the creation of open education resources?
Well, I think the important thing around the whole open education movement is a return back to the traditions of what education is about. We know, conservatively estimated from research done by UNESCO and the Commonwealth of Learning, that we need to provide for an additional 100 million places in tertiary education over the next 15 to 20 years. And if you do the mental math around that, that's equivalent of building 4 sizable universities, roughly about the size of the State University of Moscow, every week for the next 15 years. And so we know that the traditional model of higher education delivery is not going to be able to serve all these learners who are wanting access to a tertiary education. And this is where the open education movement plays a significant role, because we can assemble courses that are based entirely on open education resources. These are teaching materials which are available for reuse, distribution, and adaptation at no cost and without restriction. So this means we will be able to provide free access to tertiary education through the use of open education resources, and thus widen access to participation, especially for learners who are excluded from the privilege of a tertiary education.
Which difficulties do you face during the realization of open educational resources at universities?
I think the biggest challenges we are facing is really about the shift in culture that needs to take place in our universities. This is a shift in culture from from sharing to learn. In other words, producing educational materials for the purposes of learning to share. And what I mean by that is the culture in many of our higher education institutions is not one that is based on sharing. We do not have in-depth experience on how to share and develop course materials collaboratively. And so I think one of the biggest challenges we face is how we build capability in our tertiary education institutions to learn how to share in order to widen access to education.
Thank you.
Thank you.